Hey guys, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Um actually gonna actually want to start with a little song that my sis Lily aka NF Humilde made for me a while ago. A few months back actually. But just wanted you guys to hear it.
Come chat with Mama Free, where you're always welcome. Feel the energy. Good vibes only. It's a safe place to be. We laugh, we learn, we grow as a family. Trending topics and some good home cooking. Stories from the heart. Come on in, keep looking. Three boys in the back bring the joy and the heat. Mama Three's world, we're loving real life meat. So subscribe to the channel, let's all rise together. Build a strong community that lasts forever. Mama Three's here, spreading light so free. Come join the journey, yeah, grow with Mama Three. Come on in, come along with Mama Three. Feel the rhythm, feel the warmth, feel the energy. Good vibes only, let the beat set you free. The safe space is where you're meant to be. Stay wild, join the fam in the community. Hit subscribe so we can grow in unity. Catch the rhythm, soft and sweet. Yeah, come on with Mama Three. Come on with Mama Three. Feel the rhythm, feel the warmth, feel the energy. Good vibes only, let the beat set you free. The safe space is where you're meant to be. Stay wild, join the fam in the community. Hit subscribe so we can go in unity. Catch the rhythm, sweet. Yeah, come on with Mama Three.
All right. Thanks, sis, for that song. Thank you to my sis for making that song. Hey, Marie. Welcome in, welcome in. Please hit the like button, guys. So we are going to get into this. Before we get into it, let me be very clear. These are just allegations being made publicly by Jahna Sebastian. I'm not here to say what is true, what is false, or what has been proven in court or what's going to be proven in court. I'm just here to talk about what is being alleged, how this story is unfolding online, and why is it that people are talking. So tonight we have to talk about what's going on with Swizz Beatz because, baby, this story went from messy to extremely serious. His daughter's mother, Jahna Sebastian, is not just online, venting anymore. If you guys saw like a few months ago that she was venting about the daughter, um, but anyway, but now she's making some serious allegations. Some serious allegations. Um, Saying that he abducted their daughter, saying she filed a criminal, you know, case, and even accused him of rape, of grape. And when a situation goes from online complaints to allegations, this is heavy. People are going to ask questions, and these are very serious allegations. Like, what happened? Why now? And where are the receipts, right? Because they've been broken up for a very long time. Him and Alicia Keys have been together for a very long time, have children together. And, now after, I don't understand why now. Why is Jahna, alleging all of this now? Because let's be honest, when celebrities have drama with exes and co-parenting issues, people expect shade, maybe, public back and forth, maybe some accusations of bad parenting. But when the words abduction and grape get thrown in, that changes the whole energy. That is no longer just some regular tea. That is some serious shit. That is career impacting. That is family shaking, you know? And Swizz Beatz, and even though it's not about Alicia, but that is her husband. So they have a lot to lose. So what is going on? You know? Please hit that like button, guys. Please hit that like button, share, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. So from the reports that are out there, Jahna Sebastian first started making public claims about Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys allegedly exposing their daughter Nicole to drugs and vapes. Then the story escalated into her saying she filed a criminal case and that Swizz abducted their daughter. She also accused him of rape. That is the basic outline of what is being reported. This didn't start with the grape allegation first. It looks like the public spiral started with parenting accusations. Then it escalated. That escalation is why everybody is now locked in. We want to know what the hell is going on over there. What the hell is going on behind those, doors? Like, what really is going on? We can't, everything is alleged because we really don't know what's going on. But, you know, why is she just coming out with this now? Why? Just why? I'm sure everybody else that has read about this is wondering why too. Is she still, in her feelings, about what happened so many years ago? Do y'all think this sounds like a mother who feels ignored and is just escalating this publicly? Or do y'all think that this is something much deeper that people ignored for too long? Do you really think Swizz Beatz is really, somebody that we have to worry about in the industry? Because these allegations, no matter what, you have to take seriously. Because what the hell, you know? And then about your own child, it's even more crazy. It's more, it's serious. It's really serious. Hey sis, hey Bonnie, thank you Bonnie, I appreciate you. Hey Heck, what's going on? What's going on? Happy Thursday, everyone. Yeah, so it's crazy. So like I said, Swizz Beatz and Alicia have a lot to lose behind this. So what the hell is going on? So the reason this is blowing up is because Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys have had this polished public image for years. They come across as evolved, blended family goals, rich, unbothered, artistic, peaceful. So when somebody from inside that family dynamic comes out and just says, no, what y'all think you see is not what it is. It's not what is really going on. People are going to start paying attention and start wondering and start having questions. People love a clean celebrity image, but they love when, they love even more when somebody comes and messes that image up. That's why this story is moving. That's why it's getting the attention. We see the beautiful family dynamics when, Alicia brings her pictures, on any social media platform or Swiss Beats or whatever. You don't think anything of it. But sometimes, it's not what it seems. And is this the case in this case? What makes this even sadder is that the daughter is right in the middle of all this. Because, when two parents are at war publicly, the child becomes the battlefield. The the child becomes the one that has to deal with it. The parents going back and forth. One parent says one thing, the other parent says another thing. The other household, who knows what they're saying, and the child gets pulled emotionally in both directions. Should she listen to mom? Should she listen to dad? It's like, that child is not living in any peace, and probably feels like she has to choose. But to be, but now Swiss Beats, for his baby mama to be saying that he abducted their child, now that's some serious shit. But And even if half of this chaos is real behind the scenes, that is just exhausting for a teenager. Imagine being old enough to see the headlines, old enough to see comments, to read comments, to know what's going on, old enough to know your family business is being discussed by thousands, if not millions, of strangers online. Just imagine. you know the loyalty, like for a child, where does the loyalty lie? Does she feel like, she has to listen to her mom, or is she on the dad, or does she have to choose her dad, or like, what is the mom saying about him, and what is he saying about her? We just don't know. But there's always one parent or even both that are talking shit in that household, especially if these allegations are not true. That's gonna be the worst thing. If it's not true and she's just stirring up drama for nothing, for clout, that's gonna be some shit. And it, to me, is just gonna lead to some, like, alienation from the child. The child is going to feel like she has to choose, and who knows if she even just tries to, get away from both of them because she's tired of the drama. She doesn't want to be in the spotlight, especially on this kind of topic. But social media making family pain public too. I mean, but can of course we're going to talk about it because she brought it to the public, right? So why not? Hold on a minute, guys. You hear the sound of the train coming? So yeah, this is just ridiculous. So it really doesn't matter, like, whether you're a celebrity or not. Money doesn't make dysfunction disappear. This shows that no matter what level you're on, whether you're a celebrity, whether you're, just a regular old Joe, you know, there's always some kind of family dysfunction, you know, and it's sad. But then for Jahna, the baby mama, Swizz Beatz baby mama, to bring it to the public, that says a lot about her and her character. Like, what is she trying to do? She's trying to damage their image because I say their image because Swizz Beatz is Alicia Keys is, you know, linked to him. When you think about Swizz Beatz, um you think about Alicia. You think about their children that they have together. So what is she trying to do? If this is not true, if these are just, untrue allegations, is she thinking about, what this can do to them and their career and just their image? But if it is true, what the hell is Swissbee's thinking? And Grape, that's some serious shit. Like, what the hell's going on? You know? Allegations are serious, but serious allegations also make people ask, where are the receipts? You know? Where are the damn receipts? You're going to bring it to the public, you know, try to paint the picture for us, Is there a court filing people can see? Is there an official police statement? Is there documentation beyond just social media posts and blog coverage? Because social media has made it very easy for people to post, you know, first and then let the internet decide later. And I'm not saying somebody is lying. I'm just saying if you put something out there, especially something like this major, if you bring it out and put it on the table, people are going to want more than just screenshots and reposts. We're going to have to see something that proves these allegations. You know, you bring it on social media, so yes, we need to see the proof. We need to see the proof because it's not right. And then we can go from there. And like always, innocent till proven guilty. So prove it, you know? So do y'all believe social media allegations without documents, or do you guys like to wait for the paperwork to see what it really is? And thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like button, hit subscribe. If you're on the replay, thank you for watching. If it's your first time here, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate you. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to see the proof. We want to see the paperwork, you know, because from a few months ago to now, why it took so long to now create this new story, these new allegations. First, it was about the vaping and the smoking marijuana, which, um, some people take serious, like that's a real drug or something, but you know, it's legal in so many places now. It's legal. They have it everywhere, dispensaries everywhere. You can get a medical card for it, and especially if it's the parent that's allowing it. I mean, even though some parents, they just don't want that for their child, and I understand that. But, if the father is letting, her do it in his home, and not in the streets, would you rather your child choose to do that at home with the parent, or at least that the parent knows? Not saying that is with the parent literally, like, here, you want, but isn't it better that she's in the house and not just roaming the streets or with her friends doing it? I mean, but from those allegations that he started letting her smoke and vape and things like that, now to these a shift to these very serious accusations. Something is going on behind those scenes that we have not seen yet. We there's something that we just don't see. Hey, Miguel, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, so there's something going on with that family that we really don't see, you know, and I don't know, something might come out soon that Who knows, you know? But even without publicly confirmed paperwork floating around, people are still paying attention because these allegations didn't just come out of nowhere in one sentence. You know, there seems to be a stream of posts, repeated accusations, and a pattern of Jahna using social media to air concerns about her daughter and Swiss, you know? Um, and when somebody keeps coming back with more and more, the audience starts thinking one of two things. Either this woman is desperately trying to be heard, or this has become a public spiral, and people are going to start debating which one it is. Is it for clout, or is it the real thing? Is something serious going on? You know, this is also messy because Alicia Keys keeps getting pulled into it. You know, she may not, be the central target, you know, but because she is Swiss's wife, because she's part of the household, because Jana's earlier allegations, mentioned her by name. People are now going to be looking at Alicia, sideways too. Like, you're letting this happen? Like, what's going on in your household? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it really? You know? And that's the thing with celebrity marriage. Even if one person is being accused, the spouse catches the smoke too, you know? Especially when the accusations involve a child, a home environment, and who allegedly knew what, you know? Now people are wondering, does Alicia know what's going on? Does she know what's going on? Is it true, that they're giving her, marijuana and this and that? Did Swiss really abduct her? Or is it just called a parent taking the child because maybe the family dynamics at her home with her mom is not there and she got tired of it, you know? She's not a young child, she is a teen, and not just she didn't just become a teen, you know? So is it really abduction, or is maybe something happened in the household with her mom that she just couldn't take it and she wanted to stay, with her dad? Is that so bad? If something's happening in the household, with her mom and she's tired of it and she just wants to be with her dad, maybe there's a different dynamic in his house. Maybe there's peace, and probably a little bit more like leniency. Like she doesn't have to be so structured there. What teenager likes structure like that? So maybe it's a little bit laid back in her dad's house, you know? So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, that's the thing with celebrity marriage. Once somebody is being accused, the other one is basically being accused too, So does standing by your man become a PR problem? Probably, you know. People are gonna be looking at her sideways. It might stop her from getting gigs. It might stop her from, certain doors opening for her. So I'm sure that they're gonna take care of this quick. How much responsibility does the spouse have to carry? I know in their case it looks like she probably does try to be there for her husband, so she probably does carry a lot, and vice versa. They seem like a good couple, but like I said, it's not always what it seems either, so who knows. But is Alicia being unfairly dragged, or is that just part of being in the household, you know? Because the mother did bring up Alicia, basically, or is it still stem from what happening in the beginning of the relationship, and she still might have some of that resentment towards Alicia. Basically, she feels like, Swiss left her for Alicia. So it might be some resentment there, some jealousy still, you know. Maybe the daughter does like being in her dad's house more, so she does feel like, jealous and like she's losing her daughter, which could, bring up a lot of freaking emotions, that she might not know how to deal with, you know. Hey, SRC, how are you? It was nice seeing you earlier in your live. So, yeah. My opinion, this is the kind of story where I refuse to, just scream guilty because the internet said so, or because, the mother said so, because Jahna Sebastian said so. But I also refuse to ignore when somebody is making repeated claims this serious, because what about if it's true? You know? What about if it's true? Sometimes you do have to take allegations serious, because maybe it just took them this long to feel secure enough to speak on what's happening. You know, two things can be true. Allegations need proof, and people in pain do not always present their story in a neat, perfect way. So for me, the real conversation is not just, is Jahna telling the truth? It's, or is Swizz lying? The bigger conversation is, how bad does a co parenting relationship have to get before people start taking those warning signs seriously? That's the bigger conversation and question. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm good. Thank God. I'm just waiting for tomorrow to come and go. I want to be done with. I wish I was off. Like my son is off tomorrow from school. I wish I was off. But yeah. So we love to act like, celebrity co-parenting is mature because the pictures look nice. But money does not fix resentment. Fame does not fix those old wounds. A blended family photo does not mean the ex is at peace. Sometimes it means the public got the polished version and the private people got the pressure cooker. Nah, but it's not funny. These allegations are serious. And if this situation has been tense for years, like we have heard, I can't say like we know, but like we have heard, um, then what we're seeing now may just be an explosion, not the beginning, you know? And another thing, the internet loves picking a side before facts even come out. So some people automatically believe the mother, you know? Some people automatically protect the celebrity. Some people will dismiss everything they love, because they love, Alicia Keys, or because they love Swizz Beatz. Some people will believe that the mom is delusional and she's just looking for clout. Some people will believe everything because they already think rich men get away with too much. And that's why these stories get dangerous online. You know, people don't wait, they just decide. They don't want to see that proof. They don't want to see that paperwork. They hear the allegations, they hear the word grape, and they run, you know? They don't, and they just take sides, and they already decide for themselves before the courts even decide, you know? Hey, Mel. How you doing, sis? How you doing? Hey, mentors. Yeah, he's one of your favorite. Yeah, I don't know. Did you hear these allegations that are going around? These allegations about that he abducted his daughter allegedly and grape allegedly. But like I said, I want to see proof because I know that the baby mama has been you know going at him for quite some time, and now the allegations are just escalating and now they're just coming out. But when it does come to grape, you don't want to take it lightly. You don't want to not believe the person, because just because a person doesn't come out with it right away doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. So, these are some serious allegations. I think everybody watching and seeing the headlines and stuff, they're just waiting to see the proof. He's a rapper, producer, and he's married to Alicia Keys. Hey, Kia. Yes, Kia. Yes. I don't know to his daughter. I'm not really sure to his daughter. The baby mama didn't really elaborate. She just came and said, "Oh, I'm just let me see. Let's see. Let me see if I saved it on Instagram." She just basically posted it like on social media. She said, "Oh, by the way, I have him and I'm taking to him to court for abduction and grape." Let me see. Did I save it? I didn't save it. I didn't save it. Damn, I should have saved it, but I didn't save it. Let's see. Maybe I could find it. Oh, maybe I could find it. Let's see. Oh, I'm sure I could find it. Hold on, let me. You know where everything goes. You know where everything goes. The shade room. Let's see. I think that's where. Did I see it there? I don't know. I might have saw it there. Oh my god! But the shade room be posting so much. It'd be like you have to look through so much posts because they post so many times in a day. But yeah, that is sad, and that's some crazy, allegations. Some crazy allegations. So a lot of people are just wondering, is it true? Is it for clout? You know? And I don't know. I know, like I was saying that, they have a history, you know. She might still have some jealousy in her, the way that the relationship ended and he, got with and married Alicia Keys, you know, had kids with her. So who knows? But when I saw that, I said, wow, I definitely have to talk about it because that's some serious shit. It's some serious allegations. And it also makes you realize that what you see is not always what you get. Alicia and him, they do make it seem like they have such a perfect relationship, like their household is so perfect. So that does make you think, like, what are you guys hiding? When you hear things like this, it does have you thinking, like, what are you hiding? You know what I'm saying? Because no household is perfect. So they just bring to social media what they want us to see, not the fights and the arguments, and not that they have to, but nobody's perfect, you know? So who knows what we're not seeing, you know? But I also said, for those of you that just came in, that you just never know. It could still be about jealousy. It could be about resentment of their relationship, you know? It could be that the household with the mother is, you know, messy or just uncomfortable. So she wanted to live with her dad, and her mom must maybe doesn't want her to. So she's putting out these allegations. We just don't know what's going on, you know? We just don't know. You know how teens are. If one parent is more lenient than the other, they're gonna go want to go with the parent that's lenient because they're at that age that they want to do what they want to do, you know? So maybe her dad, she's more comfortable with her dad. Maybe she's comfortable talking with her dad. You know, maybe her dad, gives her a little bit of, you know, freedom. You know, maybe she lets her hang out with her friends. Maybe her mother doesn't. We just don't know. We just don't know, you know? But I hope that these allegations are not true, because that's some serious stuff. And I do want to know exactly what she's talking about when it comes to the grape. And I'm sure everybody does. I'm sure all of you want to know, like, what the hell is going on. When you hear grape, it's like you want to know exactly what's going on. So I don't think this is the end, unless she gets a cease and desist, which she probably did, because that was yesterday that this came up. Um, but I just had to talk about it because, I do like Alicia, because she seems laid back. She seems cool. She seems down to earth, you know? So, and I love her music. I don't want to see her going downhill because of who she is married to, you know? And I know that she's like a free spirit. So if she smokes a little bit of weed and shit, so what? Like I said, it's legal almost everywhere now, and if they let if he lets his child smoke weed, he's the parent too, I mean, I know that it should be, an agreement between both parents, but I would rather my child smoke in my household, not me personally, but I would like my child to a child to smoke in their own house than out there and not knowing what they're gonna be smoking, if they're gonna get late, if it's gonna get laced, while they're not under your care, you know? So I don't know, guys. I just don't know. Wait, I know I missed a lot. Hold on, let's see. Let's see. And hello, everybody. Sister Teacher. Hey, Sister Teacher. Let me see. How am I late? Because I saw the tea with him and I don't want to be too late to the party. Yeah, I've been on quite a while already. Yeah, sadly it's turned to public opinion. Yep. Yeah, I guess when it's celebrities, especially two, you know, celebrities people actually know and heard of, sad. Yeah. No. So that one I don't think it's to his daughter. I don't know. I hope not, at least, But I don't think so though. So I don't know. Yes, definitely serious allegations, and we all saw how that Johnny Depp story went. Yeah, definitely, definitely. You know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's going down, guys. It's going down. Allison, what's going on? The same daughter who the mom said that, yeah, yep. That's exactly what I was talking about. That first it was about the weed and the vapes, and now it escalated to this serious shit. It's crazy, right? Yes, guys, please put on your notifications so you know when I'm coming on. And I had this scheduled, so I've been trying to be more consistent. because I still am trying to grow. And, I have goals. So I have to make sure that I come on no matter what, even if I'm talking to myself. Yeah, her mama, I don't know about her, so this could be BS. But then again, you never know. This world is crazy, and the people in it. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. People are crazy, and all these celebrities, they have um a way of hiding things. So you never know. Alicia Keys and her husband, sister teacher, but really about her husband. I mean, she's just attached to him because that's her husband. But it's really about Alicia Keys' husband, Swizz Beatz, and his baby mama alleging that he abducted their child, which is a teenager. She's like 17. And there are some allegations about grape, but she wasn't very clear about who and what and where and when. But yep, I can relate to that as someone who went through divorce. It's complicating when you have children involved. It's very scared. Yeah, it's very sad. Yep. Yeah, they were together for a long time, but him and Alicia been together for a long time too. So I don't believe it because she didn't say that when she came out and they said they letting her do drugs. If she had done that, why didn't she? Yeah, that's what I said. I said why it took so long. A few months ago it was about the weed and the vapes, and now it's this. That it seems suspicious. It does seem suspicious. But I'm not gonna say it's a lie or whatever. We'll just have to wait and see we see the proof. The proof is in the pudding. We want to see it. We want to see the proof before we, you know, say if it's true or not. Yeah, everything is coming out, right? Everything is coming out. It eventually in the entertainment business, it doesn't stay is nobody stays silent anymore and everything is coming out. Yep. They ain't been together in so many years. Yeah, so she can't I mean, shit. She could be. Who are we to say she can't be still mad? Shit. If she hasn't had any success, excuse me, successful relationships after that, she could still be bitter. But this is serious. Just imagine if it's not true, if it's not true, how her daughter feels right now. You know, a teenager, her mom making their public issues public. She has to go to school. She has friends, you know. Swiss and Alicia are in the entertainment business, you know. It really is crazy. And that's what I said, that it doesn't matter whether you're a celebrity or just a regular person like us, there's dysfunction in any family. It could be anyone. And but we that's why we also definitely need to watch our children no matter who it's with, whether it's with their mother, their father, their uncle, their brother. You just never know. But I really want to see the outcome of this, and I'm going to be paying attention to it because not really much has came out besides that she took him to court for abduction and she called the cops. And but we'll see, because wouldn't there be more if it was really true? But you never know. They could still be investigating everything, looking for evidence, finding out the evidence, seeing if it's true, talking to this person, talking to that person. You know how an investigation is, especially when it's something serious like that. They're gonna wanna just go through everything, they're just gonna wanna go through everything. So What y'all think? You think this is a cry for actual help, or do you think that is just like a smear campaign because she maybe still has resentment for them? Like I said, the way their relationship ended, that he's left, that he's went with Alicia and still with her, you know, they've always posting about how much they love each other, basically throwing it in everybody's faces that they're so happy still after all these years. But at what point do allegations become too serious to ignore? So I know you can't, nobody can take this lightly, including the authorities. They're gonna have to check on it no matter what. So, but is it right for her to bring it to the public? Yeah, always be cautious. They don't even they don't even have her full time. She goes to visit them. Yeah. But that's what she's saying, that he abducted the child. So I guess, like I said, the child maybe wanted to go with her dad. And now she's saying that he abducted her. Who knows? We really don't know. We really don't know. You know, people be crazy. People be crazy. Oh boy, can't be. Life goes on. That is serious. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I want justice, and any child allegations need to be taken seriously. Yeah. Only God knows, but they're going to want to question her. The authorities, once they got that in, they're going to have to talk to the daughter. So it's going to come out whether it was a lie or not, you know? So, and it could be, like I said, just maybe the mother is, the daughter arguing with the mother. You know how, sometimes girls argue with their mom is not being fair. The parent that has the child full time is more, has more structure, discipline, things like that. And like I said, maybe the other household is just laid back and lets her do more, has more freedom. So of course she's gonna like the other house more, you know so maybe that's why she chose to want to stay with her dad, and now the mom is feeling a way about it. Who knows? But any allegations that include grape, we have to definitely, at least believe it until we have proof different, because I mean, I believe it, but we still have to think about it and at least not just brush her off like, oh, you're a liar or she's a liar, because you just never know. It could be true, and maybe it just took this long for her to get the courage to bring it out. So I don't want to say that she's a liar and she just wants to do it for clout. I'm want to say, and I'm gonna say, I'm waiting for the proof. And I really hope that it's not true, you know? I really hope it's not true, because I don't believe in that shit. And if it's true, there definitely should be some repercussions and justice, and everything that's supposed to happen should happen if it's true. And if it's not true, I think that she needs to do some jail time for those allegations, because that's serious freaking allegations that could ruin a family and, their business. So, you know, because that's not cool at all. So, no matter what, somebody needs to go to jail, whether it's true or not, you know? I'm curious of your guys' thoughts of these. If these allegations are made and found out to be false or vindictive, do you think the accuser should be? Oh yeah, I answered your question before I read your question, right? Yeah, so I definitely think that she should do some kind of jail time for those false allegations if it comes out that they're false, because you're messing with a person's livelihood. You know what I'm saying? And they have a lot to freaking lose. And imagine they have boys in that household also. They have their sons. So imagine their sons, because their sons are old enough to see what's going on and to hear what's going on. So imagine what their sons are thinking too of their dad, you know? So it's not just between the mom, Swizz Beatz, and the daughter and Alicia. No, it has they have children too that are old enough to see what the hell's going on. So yeah, sure, you know. But at the end of the day, this is not, some light tea. These are heavy allegations. And I think people need to stop acting like everything is just entertainment when a child, and accusations this serious are involved. I'm going to keep watching out for this story, because if paperwork statements, or even a response from Swizz Beatz comes out that changes everything, I'm looking for it. But as of now, what we have is Jahna Sebastian making very public, very serious claims, and myself and the whole internet are trying to figure out whether this is exposure, desperation, or the start of something much bigger. Yeah. But right now, these are all allegations, you know? So we'll definitely see what's going on. Yeah, legal. Oh, yeah. What is that? Yeah, liable will mean held accountable. Yeah, held accountable. Their kids are teenagers. One is a teenager and one is younger than a teenager. Yeah. And then the daughter is a teenager. She's like 17 years old. So, yeah. So, no matter what, somebody better be held responsible, because, reporting fake shit this serious, you should be in jail. And of course, they'll have to find evidence. So, we'll see. But no matter what, um this is messed up for for everybody involved, for the mom, for the dad, for the daughter, and for the other people involved, of the family, Alicia and her kids. So we'll just pray that the allegations are not true. We'll just hope that this is just a dysfunctional family argument that unfortunately was brought to the internet. And unfortunately for her, I say that she needs to do some kind of jail time, or, a big fine, community service, something, and a big public apology, of course, because if you bring it to the public, you better apologize to the public, you know? And then maybe her daughter should stay, in the other household, because if your parent is wild enough to bring these false accusations to the internet, imagine what else she would do. And I wouldn't want to be in that household. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Oh, I hope I'm not getting sick. I feel a little, maybe it's just that I'm tired. But yes, thank you guys for watching. I see you guys on the next one. And hey, Alan. Bye, Alan. Yes, please hit that like button. Love you guys. And donate to the channel if you can. Thank you. That's my cash app on the screen. BX Queen C. And see you guys later.